This is something that has been growing on me over numbers of years here. So again, this is the Scottish Classic Sports and Saloons Championship in association with the Edinburgh Watch Company. Let's quickly take you through the grid then. Alistair Coates on pole position from Michael Anderson. Charles Cope on row 2 alongside 4th place of Ian Mitchell. Alistair Bapty on row 3 with Jimmy Crowe. Mario Ferrari and David Riley on row 4. And then in row 5, Ian Morton alongside John Kinmond in that wonderful Rover 3500. Adam Kinmond, his son, on row 6 with Duncan O'Neill in the legendary XR2. Nicky Dixon in row 7, and then Donald Dewar alongside with Paul Bowers and Russell Patterson at the back on row 8. Row 9, Elliot Patterson and the iconic car of Tommy Gilmartin in his Morgan. Row 10 is Andrew Graham and Shawnee Patterson, Craig Houston and Kenneth Brown, and at the back of the grids is going to be our final car, but we are on the grid of Martin Reynolds is at the back. But anyway, we are ready to go then for the Scottish Classic Sports and Saloons Championship then in association with the Edinburgh Watch Company. This is open basically to cars before 1985. There is a special car class for cars up to 31st of December 1990, and that is to accommodate the XR2s and certain other cars from that era as well. The XR2s hold a very, very special place in the heart of many racers here at the SMRC, and we have to make sure that we can hold on to that legacy for as long as we possibly can. And you know, big shout there to the likes of Duncan O'Neill for single-handedly, keeping that dream alive of the XR2s, and the incredible work that him and his team do behind the scenes, keeping as many XR2s up here in Scotland as they possibly can. With classic racing, it is a very different kettle of fish. What you have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, unlike almost all of the other classes that are out there today, the cars, the drivers here, they can't get spare parts from your local car retailer. It's all custom made for these cars. And what a lineup we have for you then today. The cars ready on the grid, the green flag waved from the back there, and we are about a minute away from going live. 22 cars here. I think that's probably one of the biggest fields I think I've seen here for Scottish Classics Sports and Saloons. The 30-second board goes out as the marshals signal. 5 seconds left to go. The lights are about to come on. You can see Tommy Gilmartin up in the front there, and the lights are on. We hold, and that's a fast turnaround, and it's away we go. You can see the different paces. This is probably going to be one of the most enjoyable races of the day here. The cars very, very respectful of each other, and you can hear Tommy Gilmartin roaring into life there, down into that first corner there with the number 77 Morgan 8 there. But there's a big bad Rover 3500 of John Kinmond here, one of my favourite cars to see here. The roar from that engine is absolutely sublime, and this is why I kept saying in the beginning, if you are nearby, get yourself down here, because it is an absolute treat to see these cars. So we'll give them a lap or so to get in, because remember there's about 6 different classes here. You've got class A, B, C, D and E, and what they tend to do is that they're all organised on engine power. So while they're all fighting each other on the track, they're all fighting for these class positions as well. And already, just like that, much faster than the Mini Coopers, we've already got a lap into the books. Have a look at Tommy Gilmartin, starting to get a little bit of a gap there over John Kinmond in that second place. You've got Russell Patterson in the beautiful red Morgan +8. He's down in a different class to Tommy Gilmartin there. As the three of them, they're in a bit of a class of their own right now. Shawnee Patterson in the Triumph TR8 in 4th place on the road right now. But again, with all these different classes, it means that we have to keep an eye on exactly what class they're in to give you an idea of exactly where they are right now. But yeah, these things are a proper sight to see down. And have a look on the inside there, Russell Patterson, that's late on the brakes. That's going to be a position taken then ahead of that Rover 3500. But again, you just see the proper power slide from that Rover engine. Heads out as we hear what sounds like a car exiting stage left into the hairpin there. Tommy Kilmartin now with about half a second lead over our second place car right now. Russell Patterson, John Kinman down into 3rd position, Shawnee Patterson in 4th, Andrew Graham in 5th position. But let's have a look at the classes then. So Class A at the moment led by Mario Ferrari in the Alpha Sprint Trofeo, and he is down in 11th place overall. Class B is currently led by Charlie Cope in the Volkswagen Golf GTI. A Golf GTI in this Classics. My goodness me, that's about as scary as the XR2s in the Classics as well. But Charlie Cope leading in that Class B. Class C is currently led by Russell Patterson in the Morgan Plus 8. Then it's going to be on to Class D, Elliot Patterson in the number 73 Morgan 8 as well. And then Class E, Tommy Kilmartin at the head of the field. No surprises there in that Morgan Plus 8. Nearly a 4-litre engine in that car. And my goodness me, it sounds amazing. That's a huge wobble. And Tommy Kilmartin has to give that position back there. And that is going to be a big moment coming out of Duffeston. Now, I wonder if Tommy is actually struggling with that car, because there goes John Kinman trying to go through the inside. That's never going to work into the chicane there. But that now means that Russell Patterson takes the lead overall, but again with the different classes, Russell Patterson is in C class as well here. So Tommy Kilmartin having a bit of a struggle coming down onto the brakes at Duffus Dip there, gets regained, but again John Kinman now smells blood in the water, and it could be that these two just want to fight each other. So from experience, John Kinman and Tommy Kilmartin are they love being beside each other on track. They love giving each other a good scrap out there on the tarmac here, as you see one of the XR2s, unsurprisingly, not quite able to cope with a 4-litre engine tearing its way around Knockhill racing circuit here, but it is still Russell Patterson in the lead on the track. But as I said, classes are what we end up having to go on. That's where we get the points here from. But yeah, a beautiful Morgan Plus 8 there making its way. And interestingly, both Russell Patterson and Tommy Kilmartin in that Morgan Plus 8, but both of them in different classes as well. Also in a Morgan 8, Elliot Patterson in the lead of B class. So it looks like the Morgan is a bit of a card to choose for this Scottish Classic Sports and Saloons Championship in association with the Edinburgh Watch Company. But 8 laps left to go in this race. You can see the Volkswagen Golf just making its way in, and again a very iconic car, but not one that you would imagine is old enough to be in this championship, but it is, and such as how quickly time goes by. And that is John Kinman up the inside of the number 71 of Paul Bowers there, putting a lap down on the Fiat 128. And again, one of the things that I love from my time on the commentary team here at Knockhill was, you know, I'm relatively new to the scene of the classic sports and saloons, so you know, get taken under the wing the likes of Alistair Bapty, and having explained you know, the amount of work that is put into all of these cars from all of these drivers and all of these teams here is absolutely sublime to hear about. And again, it really makes you appreciate with the fact that these guys and girls can't just go to their local car parts store and grab a part off the shelf for these cars. Some of them are 30, 40, 50 years old, and they've either got to be forged, they've got to be manufactured, or they've got to be made specially for these cars, or you've got to pay over the odds for car parts to actually replace them. So a bit of a labour of love for many of these drivers, and again, fantastic to see these growing grids here. 22 cars out here, and I don't think I've seen the grid that top there. And also a great point there actually made from one of our viewers on YouTube, of course, to tie in with this. Gordon Shedden, of course, taking part at Goodwood this weekend in one of the historic cars as well. So historic, I think racing is having a bit of a resurgence just now. You're seeing the likes of the Goodwood Revival getting massively popular here, as you see John Kinman again just launching that car out of the exit of the hairpin there. It drifts round like you wouldn't believe, and I can only imagine how much fun and how leery that car is to drive there. Whereas the Morgan of Tommy Gilmartin, you see just blitzing through the picture there, looks to be a much more enjoyable, refined affair, if not a little bit more exposed and a little bit colder here at Knockhill, it's got to be said. But through the chicane then, and again on a straight line, John Kinman looks like that car has the grunt, but through the tight twisty parts, Tommy Gilmartin's Morgan just seems to have the upper edge here. But Kinman's roaring down on that tiny little Morgan. I can't even imagine how big that Rover 3500 must be in Tommy Gilmartin's mirrors as we watch them coming down. 5 laps then left to go, ladies and gentlemen, on the Scottish Classic Sports and Saloons Championship. Then it'll be into lunch break and it'll be over onto the grid walk for the Scottish Formula Ford Championship and the BRSEC National Formula Ford Championship as well. So very special race weekend as well. We'll talk a little bit more about the David Leslie Trophy as we get into that, but we see the number 77 of Tommy Gilmartin there. A little flick of that Rover 3500 there. Let's take you through the classes once again then on these closing stages of the race. The car that we've not really seen too much of, the number 27 of Mario Ferrari in the Alfa Trofeo is in the lead of Class A. In the lead of Class B, Charlie Cope in his Volkswagen Golf GTI, 18 seconds ahead of Craig Houston there, so that's Class B. Class C is Russell Patterson, currently setting fastest lap of the race, 56.444 in that Class C. Class D is Elliot Patterson in the Morgan 8 and currently 27 seconds ahead of his nearest rival in Class D. In Class E, Tommy Gilmartin down there in second place. I say down there in second place, but it's unsurprising to see Tommy so high up onto the grid there. So again, with just a couple of laps left to go, and you can really hear, and again, one of the things that makes it difficult to commentate on this race is that, you know, part of me wants to be very quiet and enjoy the sounds of these cars coming across here. And just watching, that is the number 72 then making its way round in towards the hairpin. Then Russell Patterson in that Morgan +8 again. Being closed up a little bit now, it looks like John Kinman has lost the back end of Tommy Gilmartin. I wonder if Tommy's decided to light it up again. In fact, yeah, Tommy out of that final hairpin, and that looks much closer now to the car in front then. The gap now 2.182 seconds, and was actually still a little bit slower on that last lap there, but I wonder if that means that John Kinman has possibly chewed through yet another set of tyres, drifting like a complete hooligan, that beautiful Rover 3500 through the track here at Knockhill. But Russell Patterson with 2 laps left to go then, still ahead on track of Tommy Gilmartin. But again, remember, different classes, they're all fighting their own individual battles here, and one of the other cars there away to get put a lap down. Get an idea on that one, because again it just shows the age of the competitors and the age of the cars here as Russell Patterson heads the way through to start the final lap. Then that was indeed the number 40 car. That's Ian Morton in that Austin A40 Farina, and I thought we were going to have a Ford Anglia and a TVR Griffith, but that is Kenneth Brown and Martin Reynolds not actually taken to the start of this race, so unfortunately we don't have them. But there you go, there's your race leader up the inside of your class leader with the VW Golf then, and making a move on the inside of Charlie Cope there in the number 4. Cars everywhere, left, right and centre. That is the number 71 of Paul Bowers in the Fiat 128. But as we're on our final lap, here comes Russell Patterson through Clark then for the final time. It's the long run down to the final hairpin. And I believe we're going to get the checkered flag at the end of this race. What a great start. My goodness me, an unforced error there from the Gulf, trying to let the cars through there. 2 wheels onto the grass, and that is not a fun way to spend your Sunday. But the checkered flag is out. Russell Patterson is going to take a win. For on the road, it's going to be Tommy Gilmartin in second place, taking the Class E win as well. Across the line for Charlie Cope in the Volkswagen Golf GTI, taking the win in Class B. Elliot Patterson is going to take the win for Class D, and then in the A-Class it's going to be Mario Ferrari with Duncan O'Neill taking the Ford Fiesta XR2 win, and then Donald Dewar is going to be our leading guest. But on the road, it's Russell Patterson from Tommy Gilmartin and John Kinmans in that Rover 3500. Another exemplary display then from the Scottish Classic Sports and Saloons Championship in association with the Edinburgh Watch Company. Much more refined affair, much more gentle affair with the Classic Sports and Saloon. A lot of respect, a lot of fair racing going on between the different drivers here, and beautiful sight and sound to see them on track here yet again for another bumper season of SMRC racing. They're going to be heading round in towards pit lane very shortly, just making their way down towards the hairpin, and we'll head in very shortly to hear what they have to say. But that is us into the lunch break now, so we've got a little bit longer than we normally would to have a chat with the drivers, and then we'll have a little break before myself and Andy Elston head down onto the grid for the grid walk for the Formula Ford cars. But wonderful sight here. You're going to see the cars making their way down into pit lane. What a race that was there. And again, Tommy Gilmartin, I did when I left or rather stopped doing the commentary here at the circuit, Tommy Gilmartin hadn't been part of the lineup for a couple of seasons, and we did miss him in that wonderful Morgan. So it's fantastic to see him back out on track, and it really is an incredible group of drivers. And you've got to say car enthusiasts as well. But as the cars make their way round into the holding area and into the podium area as well, I guess all that's left to do is head over to Andy Alston, who is waiting for the cars to head in. And Andy, what a race! But some beautiful machines out there.
Absolutely, Dave. You know, the Classics always put on a fantastic show, and this man Russell Patterson did just that in particular as well in this lovely Morgan, the 72 car. Had some great action there from start to finish, and the Classics really putting on a good show, as they always do here at Knockhill. But let's grab a quick word with Russell Patterson here. Russell, great action there from start to finish. You must have enjoyed that.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I was surprised to be in third place at the first on the first lap. I thought I didn't get the best start, but that's the first time I've taken the car off the line. So yeah, I'll get used to it. Maybe I'll do a better time next time. But that was a good race. Yeah.
And how's the car feeling? What's it been like in testing and getting yourself ready for this one? Everything feeling okay?
Yeah, I mean, I only sat it yesterday for the first time, so it's completely new. I've driven loads of Morgan, so it's not really an issue. But yeah, you kind of feed yourself in. So the slow bit's me, not the car.
Well, great action out there. Very well done.
Thank you very much.
Russell Patterson there. Let's get a quick word with a couple of other drivers here as we just see the Classics making their way back into the paddock area. Lots of good cars out there. It's a real crowd pleaser, the Classics Championship. So let's make our way down the order, take a look at some of the cars out there at the moment, and in fact let's get a little word here with the number 66 car, Mr. O'Neill. Let's see how the action was in the XR2 class, and here he is here.
Yeah.
Great action out there, you must have enjoyed that.
Yeah, I kind of spun out a belter, just missed one of them, so I done pretty good. I was keeping up with that 2 litre ST, but I enjoyed it. It was good for the first one. Yeah.
We just saw the car at the end of the shot just coming out the chicane, and it just looked like he just lost the back end ever so slightly, yeah. But must have been a bit of a nervy moment to say the least.
Yeah, definitely spun out crap, but I got managed to go on straight away, so I was pretty chuffed with that, definitely.
And tell us a little bit about the car. Have you done anything over the off-season to get it?
I smashed it. I ran into the back of Bruce Mitchell in the second last race last year, and I totaled the front, so we just got it so that it would finish the last race. And so I got the full hang painted, and done a wee bit of tweaks on the suspension, so it's going really well now. So aye, it's looking apart for an old car anyhow, so aye, so getting there, definitely.
Certainly, it's great driving out there, very well done.
Cheers, thank you. Ta.
So there we are, some great action throughout the field in the classics. Let's take a little look, let's try and catch up with one driver in particular I'd be keen to get their thoughts on after the opener, Tommy Gilmartin. Let's see if we can catch up with him in the 77 car, because he was having a very good race and then just had a little bit of a moment somewhere through the pack, just something kind of gone wrong. Let's catch a little word up with him here. And Tommy, just talk us through that race from your perspective. Carl was looking quite comfortable and there was a little bit of a moment midway through the race.
What had happened, I got a good start, obviously, got the jump start on Russell, and we were sitting nicely there. I wasn't really concerned about anything. Came up to Duffus and went to come down from 4th to 3rd, actually went from 4th to 5th, and that just totally unsettled the car, and obviously Russell wasn't hanging back, he nicked by me there, and then you know, it was just a case of hanging on behind. But had it not been for that, we might have had a podium, we might have. But as I say, that was the only thing that totally unsettled the car, and it took me a second or two to get back to it. In fact, the Rover nearly got me as well, but no, we managed.
Just about to say that the Rover there was hot on your heels throughout, and it's very, very quick in a straight line as well.
Aye, John's a very good driver, and he's got that Rover handling immensely. So much so that some of these corners here, he's quicker in and out than I am in some of them. But no, we just managed to stay ahead.
Yeah, great drive. Look forward to seeing how you get on in race number 2.
Thank you.